Welcome again to the Talking Locks podcast. My name is Ade Balogun of Locitude. I'm excited to speak to you today on 7 things to know before you lock your hair. But first, I want to say a very big thank you for the warm reception the first episode of the mini series received. Your feedback has been amazing, and we've already started to receive requests on topics that we should talk about. I'm excited, and of course, we would include everything that we can. And thank you once again. So let's get right into things today. It is important to know what to expect before you commit to locking your hair. 11 years ago, when I decided to lock my hair, on my first appointment, a few things shocked me. One being the fact that I was put under a hair dryer. It was quite confusing, as I genuinely thought that my hair drying days were over. While pleasant surprises are welcome, it is still nice to know what to expect before you lock your hair. And trust me, I think you really want to know if you're considering. Let me set some context for today's podcast. Firstly, it is based off of a blog post I wrote in 2014. At the time, the context was my personal experience and my hair, but I have modified it to include things I now know with the 6 years experience I have of helping other people grow healthy locks. Having said that, at Locitude, we believe in helping people grow their hair as naturally as possible. So while listening to this, it is outside the context of faux locks or lock extensions. This is about using your hair to grow healthy locks. Enough said. So here it comes. Number 1, the big chop. To get locks right, you have to cut off all chemically processed hair that you have. This means relaxed hair or texturized hair. This is advisable as the first step to healthy locks. However, it can be viewed as the most difficult stage, and it can be awkward, sometimes deemed unattractive, and can be difficult to manage. But with the world of YouTube, Instagram, and Locitude, I'm sure you'll be surprised at how many pretty styles you can get with your short locks. This must not go without saying that you must not have to cut off your hair if your hair is already natural. Number 2, your hair won't lock immediately. You know when you go to relax your hair and it is relaxed after an hour, or when you want to braid your hair and it is braided out after 3 to 6 hours. It is not the same with locks. Locks don't happen at once or immediately. It is a gradual process that takes 3 to 6 months or sometimes a year, depending on your hair texture. But my consolation to you with this slow process is that every stage of your locks in itself is a style, and you should just rock it with an attitude. Number 3, shrinkage. Inspiration to lock your hair often comes from persons who already have long locks. Unfortunately, you don't get to see the length until your locks have fully formed. The first 6 months to a year would be about a lot of shrinkage, as your hair strands are in the process of uniting, for lack of a better word. This is entirely normal, and like all things in life, this stage too shall pass. Patience is key. Number 4, locks are not maintenance free. To have beautiful locks, you need to dedicate some time and love to those strands. That way they would grow faster and they would grow more luscious. Washing your hair regularly, conditioning them, oiling your scalp, oiling your hair strands are just the simple things you have to do, but please do not abandon your locks altogether. They are not maintenance free. Number 5, choose the size of locks you want ahead of your appointment. Yes, this is important. So the first time you get your locks done, they generally tend to look very slim and tiny, but over time they bud and then they puff out and then they settle into a regular size. The size of your locks are usually about the size of the part that is made on your scalp. So you kind of have to know exactly what you want and then do some research and choose a loctician that understands this before you go in for your appointment, so that you don't end up with locks that are bigger or smaller than what you intended. So choose the size of your locks ahead of your appointments. Number 6, it is your decision. My mom's first reaction when I told her I wanted locks was, "Why would you want a hairdo that mad people wear?" This came with the illusion that locks are dreadful. Guess what? Mine isn't. I knew exactly what I was aiming for at the start, even if no one else could see it. Whatever your reason is for deciding to become a lockhead, be it for fashion, spirituality, being tired of relaxers, or trying to get a comb through your nappy hair, it doesn't matter as long as it is your decision. Then it is your beautiful crown to wear. By the way, my mom has had locks now for 6 years. This brings me to the last but not the least thing you should know before you lock your hair. Number 7, another big chop. This is the part that comes after you must have locked your hair, grown some length, become bored, and are now happy to transition into loose natural hair, permed hair, or whatnot, the chances are that you have to cut your hair again. I have seen cases on YouTube and read some blogs of people uncombing their locks, but I can tell you that that process is long and you would lose some hair trying to detangle hair that you've literally tried to tangle all this while. My advice is, before you lock your hair, be prepared to cut it off if you are deciding to go on another hair path. So there you have it, 7 things to know before you lock your hair. I hope you've learned something and you found this podcast useful. The next podcast in this mini series is going to be about lock maintenance and products. I hope you do tune in to listen. So at this point, I would say don't forget to subscribe and follow us on all social media platforms. Our handle is at Locitude, LOCITUDE. Don't forget to keep it locked with an attitude. Bye.